I'm Craig Pelkey, Director of Ectotherms at the San Antonio Zoo, and this is Bubba, the Komodo Dragon. He's about 27 years old. He has some very bad joints. They're degenerative with the arthritis. And outside of being in tip-top health, this arthritis in his joints affects his mobility.
So he's older, so he's going to have a little aches and pains, but his elbows and his knees both are pretty severe arthritis. So we've done the traditional things. I'm still giving acupuncture on a regular basis because that seems to give him some relief. Unfortunately, the regular medications, the prescription stuff doesn't really help as much. So that's where we've kind of been frustrated a little bit. We just don't know what we can do.
Our senior vet, Dr. Rob Koch, who's also the advisor for the Komodo Dragon Species Survival Plan, he got in touch with a veterinary office in Round Rock, Sage Veterinary, and they do a really cool procedure where they inject a tin into where the joint fluid would be.
This medication, Synovetin, who the company is Exubrian, we actually inject it into the joint, and that just weak radiation is enough to get around the joint and actually tends to knock out the inflammatory cells, the cells that are inflamed and red and angry and exuding all these chemicals that cause pain and inflammation and discomfort. So what we're trying to do is trying to calm that down. We're trying to knock back all these angry inflammatory cells and make them be able to live better. We basically loaded them in the back of an enclosed vehicle for safety. Then we drove up to Round Rock. Once we arrived at the clinic in Round Rock, Dr. Sage was able to take him in. We made some assessments of where the joints and the locations of where we could possibly give the injections, because we have to give those actually inside the joint, just like in people can sometimes have injections in their knees or elbows and things like that. We do the same thing, but she does more dog and cats. Of course, I do reptiles. So between the two of us, we're able to come up with a plan to actually take this medication, actually put it inside those joints so it'll actually work.
One of the major benefits of the Synovetin OA product is that it's more of a long-term improvement in quality of life, such that it's going to aim to improve or minimize the pain associated with synovial inflammation, in addition to preventing that progression of arthritis that's causing limited mobility in Bubba.
And this medication is going to help reduce the inflammation in there. It's going to not have all these pain signals come across, and it's not going to be swollen, and it's going to give him some relief.
After 7 weeks, I think we're seeing some improvement. Before the procedure, working on his joints, this wasn't possible. He just didn't have the ability to move smoothly and long distance. Since that procedure, he's got the ability. He does not seem to have as much pain because we don't hear the audible sounds he makes. That for every step he knew there was pain, and we don't hear that anymore. In my opinion, his quality of life has increased drastically.
We are really grateful for the San Antonio Zoo for involving us in this procedure, and such that we have this collaboration that can hopefully help Bubba in his quality of life going forward.
Opening up more clinics like you see behind me. You can see there's still a very long line. They've already done COVID tests for more than 2,000 people today, and that's one of the major steps that they're taking to try to deal with this Omicron variant. Despite the long lines, Rogelio Porter and his wife were able to get a COVID test in about 20 minutes today at the Alamo College's district office.
I was around with somebody, and I was notified yesterday that she tested COVID. And so my wife and I decided to come in here today.
It should take about 24 hours for these people to get the results. Local health officials announced a partnership with the nonprofit Community Labs to open a total of 6 new COVID testing sites just like this one throughout the city. All those sites should be up and running in a couple weeks.
We can provide over 40,000 tests a day, and we had it as a just in case, and I think that just in case has come, and so here we are.
With soaring demand for tests, criminals are looking to take take advantage and take your money. Health officials and police are investigating a couple of fraudulent COVID-19 testing sites where unsuspecting victims would pay money up front and not receive results or receive inaccurate results.
We're trying to make sure that residents are aware, and we're responding accordingly, and we are notifying the appropriate authorities.
You should never have to pay up front for a COVID test. If you think you were a victim of one of these fraudulent COVID-19 testing sites, you're asked to contact the Federal Trade Commission. We have contact information on our website. To avoid being scammed altogether, head to a free accredited COVID testing site. A full list of those, again, is on our website. And that website for you is news4sa.com, and I can tell you the city is currently investigating 2 different COVID testing sites right now. If they are found to be fraudulent, then they will be releasing the names and location of that site.
We're asking our community to mask in all public situations, indoors, outdoors, travel.
The city of Austin upping the ante, entering stage 5 of the COVID-19 risk-based guidelines. We asked Metro Health if San Antonio was headed in the same direction, with a 7-day moving average of more than 3,100 cases. Metro Health says at this time there is no plan in place to create stricter COVID guidelines, but that doesn't mean that can't change dependent on hospitalizations and the positivity rate. In the meantime, 2 popular events have hit pause until next year. The Texas Folk Life Festival and the Asian Festival are postponed until 2023, according to UTSA's website. Other events like Dream Week, the city's annual community summit, tell us the event is still on, but they'll be scaling some events back to allow social distancing while recommending those in attendance wear a mask. Also still on the calendar, the San Antonio Rodeo. A rodeo committee member said after their meeting tonight, everything is scheduled according to plan. We reached out to the mayor's office to see if they had thought about implementing any further COVID-19 guidelines for the city. The mayor was not available for comment today, but we're going to keep you posted on what the city plans as these numbers continue to unfold.